Boom. And we're live. All right, this is a live stream number 3. It's been a while since I did the last one, so I'm excited to get in there. Just so you know, we're running about 20 seconds behind. Got another screen over here showing me sort of what's going on YouTube, a little repeater. But so yeah, we're about 20 seconds behind. So if you're typing things and you're wondering why I'm not getting to your questions, that's why. Got my reading glasses on so I can read your questions. Going to get to your questions as they pop up. So, you know, the way these typically work, people are, you know, trickling in here and there. Maybe they'll show up, maybe they'll leave. What's going on? What's JB going to say? Well, sort of, we'll take this in any direction you want to go. Lots happened since I did the last live stream. A lot of bags that I've reviewed, so if you've got questions, there's a lot of stuff coming out that's came out recently. The Carryology collaboration, the Unicorn 2.0. Got the orange one up here, the olive, and I got black down here. It's all packed up. I had to unpack from my current EDC bag. I say current. I mean, I went from the M22 that I went, and I have been using for the last about month. I've been using this one, the 2-compartment bullet. This is a 16 liter, shorter version, 16 and 18. But then I recently, for this last week, went over to the black Unicorn 2.0, mostly to see how this bottom panel is going to react being drug around airports. It's already kind of shown a little bit of wear. So really that's my main concern. As I said in my video, mostly concerned that they put the X21 on the bottom. Now the X51's on the side, cool. This little strip here looks like it's X51. Probably is. Hard to tell. It might actually be 5. I don't know what it is. No, it doesn't feel like X51. But either way, it's kind of the bummer part about the whole thing. But other than that, looks awesome. It's awesome. And been very happy with that. So that's the EDC world. I've been filming a bunch of things. Of course, last week was just crazy. Yikes. I just, not the way I wanted my Friday to work. Just everyone sort of decided to drop everything at the same time. Luckily, I had a lot of stuff already pre-filmed, so I was just able to rapid fire. You don't expect to see many videos dropped like that in succession, just because, man, it takes a lot to put these videos together. So anyway, they're all doing well. Happy that those products are being well received. They were all been really fun to film and use. You know, I filmed this one a while ago because I had that thing, been using it around town in EDC mode. So just happy that it finally got out there, because this is, I've kind of typed this in a couple different places, you know, bag of the year potential right here, and we'll see how things shake out. I got a couple. I will probably put a bag of the year video out right around the 25th of December for those that are, you know, following Christmas. But so yeah, I'll definitely have. I got a few contenders in that one. They're not all Go Ruck, but a couple of Go Ruck ones in there. But you know, it's always changing. It's always changing. So, got a few people dialed in there. Peace, 911 Dan, cool, thank you. And Purdue Razy, 50. Hello. Have you used the track store much? You know, the answer is no. But I recently kind of got into. I was answering some questions on Facebook about you know, bags I bought, bags that were sent to me for review, and so I just kind of thought of things, and I actually just decided to take everything off the wall that had been sent to me, you know, for a little bit, just to see. And of course, I have too many that I actually bought. And the track store was actually one that I bought, and the other thing that happened too is in that process I realized I just really had to purge a bunch of bags. I got them stacked over here, I got them over here, and so I do have a bunch of bags that I recently loaded in my store, a shop.jboutside.com. If you're interested, go check those out. But I just assessed everything, and this track store, no plans to get rid of this sucker, just because it just combines a lot of the waxed canvas love I have. It has Has some nice AquaGuard zippers. Orange on the inside. Just a fantastic bag. And then, you know, being a fantastic bag always isn't good enough. This strap system is just really comfortable. The design of the side bottle pockets, it's got a lot going for it. No plans to sell this one. In terms of using it, I don't know. I mean, I got the green because I like the green color, and it's awesome. But if I had black, I might be able to deck it out and use it for work. But now I remember that front pocket is just too shallow for my iPad, so that's kind of a deal breaker for work at least. But no, you wouldn't be sad or dissatisfied with anything from Track that you picked up. So highly recommend the store, and that's just, of course, a little one. All right, fellow pilot and bag junkie here. How much total time do you have, and what are favorite airplanes to fly? So I have about 3,500 military time, and then I probably have almost 2,000, 2,500 civilian. So that's, you know, roughly what it is. And it's funny, I was having this discussion with co-pilot, first officer, the other day, and I was asking him, he's filling out his logbook, and I just, once you kind of make it to the big leagues and, you know, get to an airline, you know, I really don't keep up with my logbook because the airplane does it all and it uploads it and everything is automatically tracked. So I don't really care too much about my flight time currently, but there are a couple of milestones I need to reach. So I am watching it, but I'm not actively tracking it. So that's just, you know, about what I have in terms of flight time. Oh, is my Go Wild GR1 for sale? No. You know, at one point, if you go back to like one of my first couple of videos, the wall behind me was in a different room. Look at this other camera going too. I had this other room, most of them were, the bags ended up being mostly black. And so now that I am in this space with these more room, you know, it's kind of about the color palette that I have behind me. And honestly, you know, GoRuck didn't send me that Go Wild one because it was a limited run. And so there's really no marketing appeal for me to showcase that one because they're going to sell out anyway. And so they don't need any help with that. But I wanted it anyway just because the colors are awesome and it just stands out. Now it's only 26 liters, but it is 1,000D everywhere. So those people that are like, man, 210, I want to go back to 1,000D everywhere. This one was 1,000D and quick access pocket. And just, dude, it's totally, you know, unmistakable. This thing is just fantastic. No plans. This is definitely one of those keepers because just, I mean, great. It's a great one. Stuck on the old ice axe. But yeah, no plans. Is the TAD Axiom S2 weather still in the rotation? I'm thinking about the VX version, Don. Well, that's a great question. And that one, I had it right here. Probably, it's around here somewhere. I know that. I know sort of where it is because I was taking photos last night of a bunch of bags to list, and I actually took photos of that one. And I put it over there, and when I got done with loading everything on the store, I went back and looked at it. I'm like, well, where's the Axiom? I forgot to look. And then I'm like, why would I put the Axiom up for sale? So it is still in rotation, mostly because I have all of those other waxed canvas, black waxed canvas things that are in my drone mode. So everything for the DJI Avata are all in those pieces and parts in it, and it just all fits in there for single drone mode. So no, that not planning to sell that. It was almost a mistake, man. I can imagine that one would have got snapped up pretty quickly on the shop. So anyway. JB Outside is the code, 30% off in the store. If you're interested, I just put some action cameras in there because I realized that you know, after backpacks, action cameras are my next thing, and I just had way too many of them, so I listed a couple there. Somebody already bought one of them, which is cool. Let's see. Are we only allowed to have black bags for work? Yes. It's just written in there. And so, yeah, black is the only way to go. You know, something like this, a little logo in there. Nobody says anything. And, of course, I always put some sort of patch on there, mostly American themed or something. But I don't go super crazy or definitely not offensive. In fact, it's time to get these suckers out. The old cold miser, heat miser from PS Patch. You know, I think he's got some listed on his website. But 'tis the season, and that's, you know, it's kind of as far as I go in terms of putting those on there. So that's pretty cool. Definitely time to get those out. But no, yeah, all black is the answer for that. Preference on a 20 liter versus 25 Rucker 4.0. Well, recent developments in the old Rucker department is they kind of slipped in there that the smaller 20 liter Rucker now has the same plate pocket, the dual plate pocket that was originally just in the 25 liter. And it was something I complained about in my review, is, amongst other things, was that plate pocket is just, that's the reason I have and kept my 25 liter, because you could put the 45-pound plate and you could go above that. But now if you get a 20 liter, the newer versions from the website, they have the dual pocket system in there, so you can put a 45-pounder and a 20 or 30 in the other one. So yeah, you go up to 75 pounds on the 20 liter. So really it comes down to, now that I have that, I could almost, if they had a multicam Tropic, I would just get the one and then get rid of the 25 liter. Because for me, 5'9", my torso height, the 20 liter fits me perfectly. The 25 liter isn't terrible, but it is just a little bit too long. And so if I'm doing events all over the place, I just want to go as compact as possible. The 20 liter is definitely the best one for me. So Dan asks me the dreaded question: how many bags do you have? Well, the honest answer is I don't know. I don't keep a spreadsheet of the incoming, outgoing. I definitely need to get more in the outgoing category. I've got a pile over there that's ready to go. Those are already listed ones. And it also, I kind of make this comment a couple times to people. One thing you should never do is put all of your bags in one place, just so you see really how many you have, because that's just a recipe for disaster. So I don't, although I have them all here mostly, except for the ones like my radio ruck is in my closet because that's my gym bag. I normally have this one downstairs ready to go to work. And what else is not in here? Some family members have some Go Ruck bags, but everything else is kind of in here. And yeah, just don't ever put them in one place. I don't know. I should. No, I shouldn't know. I don't want to know. It's just the way it is. Hi, JB. You are a great man. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I try to do the best I can to give you information, save you time, so you don't have to buy these bags. And in a perfect world, you know, I would get the bags beforehand. I would do a little workup, and then I would tell you what I think about them and what's the features, and then you'd have an opportunity to make a decision off that information. So, like for instance, the Insta360 Ace Pro came out today. Just got released. Nobody's seen it. Wasn't on a website, but by golly, there's like a dozen YouTube videos. People have had this sucker for a month. So Action cameras have had this for a while. Apple's done it for a while. People are getting things prior to their release, and I would like to be inside that loop so that I would be able to get access to these things. Of course, that means they're sending me the bags. That's not always possible. Like for instance, these collaboration bags. Only one time did I get one a little early, and it kind of caused some issues. But you know, these ones I dive in there with everybody else. Sweat it out on drop day for the Mystery Ranch Unicorn 2.0 and hope to see that I'm at like 3,500 down into the queue. And but it worked out. So I dive in there with everybody else on those. But for the other ones, I think it'd be great if I got them beforehand and then beat them up and then, you know, figure out what to do with it. Do I have a Grail bag? If so, what and why? I've had that question come up a couple times. Do I have a Grail bag? The answer is no. I mean, in fact, I've also thought a couple times about, designing my own, but somebody else that's more creative than me is going to come up with a better design, and so I don't sweat it. Every one of these bags has a little something different in them that I like, and to put them all in one would just not be all that feasible. So I'm like you, I just kind of hold on to the Carryology collaboration machine, and I just wait for them to see what they're going to come up with next with new and innovative materials, little tweaks here to the present designs. But I don't really have a Grail bag. I thought maybe I would go back and get some of the earlier collaboration bags, the original unicorn or a dragon, just to see if those kind of fit my niche. But no, I don't really. I always have a bag version that I wish they would make. Like, for instance, I really wanted this 2-compartment bullet for a long time, as did a lot of people. And so, boom, here it is. I really wanted a 35-liter single compartment GR3. We got that. Mine's taking along probably a couple loops of Atlanta before it gets here, so I don't have that video done. But no, I don't have a Grail bag per se. But I'm just, I'm excited about these newer bags that are coming out. More than 50. Probably in that range. I don't know. Again, I don't want to know. Any inside info on Black Friday deals? I know track goes on sale at 9 a.m. on Friday, GMT, 9 a.m. GMT. Nope, I don't have any insight on any Black Friday deals. For the main companies that I follow and work with, they don't really tell me ahead of time, or if they do, I just kind of push out some stuff occasionally, because it's just not my deal. I think a couple years ago I really tried to track and try to make one web page with all of the different sales to be a repository, but I just got other things to do this week, family, and I just didn't want to continue to update that page. And there's just, really just check your email, because the email just gets a little crazy. You figure out where you've registered on websites this week, because you're getting all of them, all the emails back. So no insider information on Black Friday deals. Favorite GR1? I know you might be making a video on this, but have been interested to know since I saw your Insta post. Yes, so the GR1 video. So I've got a couple of videos that I have. The concepts are all kind of scripted out of things I want to put together. Those are for more times in between things, but as things got released, I just that video keeps getting pushed further down the line. Probably going to see that one in January if I had to guess, but I had so many GR1s. In fact, for a while I had them all the GR1s here on this wall, and right down the middle, and I kind of reshuffled things. But to be honest, the Samurai is really hard to beat, and I've answered a question because both GoRuck GR1 Dyneemas came out, which are like the GRXC1, and then the Samurai. Both those are really, really good bags. And if I had to pick one, I would pick the Samurai just because of its uniqueness. I love the red interior. I just like that one a lot. It's probably my favorite, but the GRXC1, just super lightweight, super durable. I've carried that thing all over the place. It's good too. They're both great bags. And so those are two of my favorites in the GR1 department. But, if I had one, the original, the OG, and it was a GR0 for me, because at the time I got into this, where I got this thing to actually ruck with it, do my first GoRuck event. This is, the 21 liter wasn't a GR1, it was a GR0 at the time, and so that's what this one is. It had drain holes put in it, and so this one, if I had to, if they said you could only take one bag out of here and go, I might take this one, just because this me and this bag have a lot of history, doing a lot of things, carried it all over the place. This is the original pilot bag that I had, and so that's definitely a cool one. But don't make me not say anything about a good heritage dark oak, right? they're all good. So yeah, so my GR1 video is going to come out. I'm going to talk about all the different variants that I know of. I'm trying to dig up a little bit of history. Probably need to send an email to JT, say, hey man, what's the skinny on some of these earlier Go Ruck bags, because he has a lot of information when it comes to that. So there you go. That's the GR1. Small enough to be considered personal item on the plane. I think so. So the 20-liter track store, 20 liters, I do believe small enough. It really comes down to the airline, because some airlines are really strict about those things. Others, not so much. But, you know, getting down to 2 bags is, you know, obviously, you know, the goal. And really that 20-liter, though, that'll fit in front of you under most airplane seats. I can't imagine many that it wouldn't. But, yeah, so it's pretty good. Favorite tech pouch of all time. Favorite tech pouch of all time. That's going to be really hard. And I used the Go Ruck DOP kits for a long time. Thought they were awesome. But then we have the Evergoods Cap 1, Cap 2. And if I just went back and looked at what I use every day, the Cap 1 is what I'm using. And I think it's actually, that one's already packed. I'm all set up for the GR3 video. So I've got things pre-staged, including this GR2 shooter 34 liter. It's completely packed with my typical loadout, actually probably more, because I tried to overstuff this sucker, because I want to see what goes into all those other bags, including the 35 liter GR3 when it gets here from the Postal Service. But inside there is the the Cap 1 from Evergoods. And that's my go-to. I've got 2 of them. I've got the original black with gray interior, and I've got the Carryology one, that has the orange interior. The regular one is my go-to power on-the-go solution. Take that thing everywhere. It's in my work bag. Normally, the orange one, the Carryology one, is in here because that's my on-the-weekend power solution. I try to keep things separate, right? Work stuff all packed, because I hate to go in that thing. I just want to put new clothes and bolt for my next job. And on the weekend, if I'm going somewhere else, I just want to be able to go with that stuff. So anyway, the Cap 1 Evergoods, because it's one thing I use all the time. Now I say that, but then I think of the Go Ruck field pockets. And I also use the GR1 size field pocket in a lot of places. I usually use it in my bags for I have one for my DOP kit. I use the original GR1 size. That's my DOP kit for all the time. And then I have usually one inside the top of a GR1. That's my Aviation headset where that sits. So yeah, I guess I forgot about that. So somewhere in between a field pocket GR1 size and the Cap 1. Those are probably tied. I always feel the shoulder straps on Go Ruck bags are too stiff hard. It hurts my shoulder and give me neck strain. Have any good ideas on how I can make them more comfortable? Well, the Bullet Ruck ones are pretty thin, or at least thinner. So if we just, they are, I would say, can be pretty stiff. And the best solution is really just kind of, as you wear them longer, they'll work in, like these 1000D. It's a huge difference between this one, which has been used a little bit, compared to my original GR0 size GR1 that I had out earlier. That one's just kind of way softer compared to this. So the more you use it, the more it'll work. Now, if you've got a Go Ruck bag, I would suggest, if it's warm, definitely you get this thing kind of warmed up and ruck around with it. It'll start to work in a little bit better. You could try getting it wet, hosing it down in the backyard, and then that might work in a little faster. But those are my only 2 recommendations. You know, they are, built to last and pretty heavily padded in there, so you just really got to work them in. So that was my only recommendation there. So sorry I don't have any better ideas on that one. The more you use it, the better it'll get. Dawn says, my first GR1 I got in late 2010 in my Forever Ruck. Yeah. Those are awesome. I mean, I just think that's I'm never gonna get rid of that thing. Every time I'm like, oh, I gotta sell some stuff. I'm never gonna sell that one because that was the first one. Even though I pretty much ruined it by trying to put my drain holes in myself before the Rucker came out. So you would do that. You get a do-it-yourself kit. It didn't work out very well. One of them's already fallen out, but it's held together. I haven't not. That one's not been to scars. A couple other bags have, but that one's not been to scars. It's been doing great. Cap 1 is Matthew's favorite as well. Yeah, I mean, and the Cap 2 is probably number 3 in that list. 1 and 2 probably alternate between a field pocket and GR1 size and the Cap 1. And then the Cap 2 is probably behind it. This, just because I saw it, happen to have it. There's some just great ones out there. Like the Step 22 is another favorite of mine, but because it's just a little bit too big for me, the dimensions just seem to not ever work. For whatever reason, that Cap 2 just seems to be just a little better proportioned. Although they both open up similarly, and there's a lot of good stuff. Oh, there's a lot of those things. Those things are everywhere. Those little little GoPro, little tool pieces. Except when I need one, I can't find one. But anyway, this is good. And the MOLLE webbing allows you to mount it in places, so it's cool. Step 22, definitely a good one. Another one that is doesn't get enough attention is this Peter McKinnon Nomadic one. That honestly, when I'm traveling with some action cameras, this ends up being kind of a good one, just because of its design. You can put batteries in here. This thing is all customizable, super cool. You know, I maybe need to get this one out. I actually have the Peter McKinnon Nomadic bag. I just never reviewed it. It's more like a, bring it out to compare with other bags sometime, but there's just not, I don't carry full-size cameras, so I don't use that Peter McKinnon Nomadic bag enough. Now there's another camera bag. I kind of got on this kick, man. You ever get something that keeps popping up in your social media feed and you're like, I gotta eventually get around to looking at that thing? And so this wandered Provoke. So this is in black, so it could be used for work, although I think it's a little too tall for me. The bag tall to hang on my bag. So I don't think it'll work for that. So that's kind of going in the queue. Plan to do that Provoke one probably in, after the new year when I get more time. But that's another camera specific bag. And part of the motivation to do that video was when you search for that bag, you see all these people. Oh, look, this person did this review. These are famous YouTubers. They did a bag review on that. It's because they went to the Sony camp, and they all, Sony gave all those content creators that bag, and so they did those videos. Cool. So I kind of felt like doing a actual bag person's, bag reviewers review of the Wandered bag, and it is a well built bag from my initial impressions, but definitely going to try to do that one soon. All right, caught up on questions. And let's see, what else is going on? Like I said, I got the GR3. Should be here anytime. And probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I have a little bit of time. I have a small window to film that sucker, which I hope to do if it gets here in time. And then maybe get it out before Friday. I don't know. We'll see what I can do. If it ends up being pretty simple, if the postman is here, there's normal time right after lunch, then I'll have time to film. And if I don't, if it goes pretty smoothly and I'm already pre-set up for it, maybe I'll get it done tomorrow. But I don't make any promises on that. I'm trying to get that one done because with the holidays, I'm doing 2 gear review videos or gear guides. So gear guide number 1, I filmed today. All that stuff's over here. And then I'm doing a second one the next week. So I'm doing 2. One is, I'll just break the news here. It's GoRuck stuff, Evergoods, some Western Rise, and then some other things that I had brewing. And to get on my gear guide, I had to basically have used it maybe, and if I did a review, but then I continued to use it. So if I did burst through that and I kept on using the bag, then it possibly would go on my gear guide. Now, obviously, there's a lot of stuff that I use throughout the year, and so I can't do all that, but these are my favorites. These are things I've been using all the time that are still available, some on sale right now. Some hope that'll drop on Friday. I filmed that already. It's probably about an 80% edited solution. Other than that, on the queue, like I said, I got Gear Guide Part 2, which is going to be a Huckberry focused. So it's going to be kind of a what happens if you spend an afternoon on the Huckberry website, and then this is what you get. So I got a box coming, plus all the other stuff that I have from Huckberry that I'm a big fan of. We're going to just hit that on a part 2. So two gear guides. And then I'm waiting on confirmation from headquarters of when the GoRuck M23 is going to be released. So, and honestly, I was looking around, is there anything over here that I can't show? No, I can show everything here because I don't have the M23 yet. I did look at one when I was at headquarters. It was a pre-production model, and so I'm excited to get that here, the GoRuck M23, to compare it to the M22, and we'll see what it's like. I think that's on the way. So I will, that'll be out when I can put that one out. But that's, of the bags I've been looking forward to, it's that M23. Because in the category of, bag of the year, another contender is going to be this M22, which I really love. Because before I got this one, I was using the M22 every day. And now I'm using this. And now I'm using the Unicorn. Because I just want some more B-roll footage of me walking around somewhere with a Unicorn. But the last trip I had just didn't provide any opportunities. I would really like to take the orange one, but unfortunately, it's a little too much to bring. All right, B Holiday says, had the Cap 1 twice, never found use for it. Too big for a wallet, too small for a pouch. Felt like it didn't carry enough for what it was. Cap 2 is a winner, but I like it's best for mobile desk organization. Yeah, I do think the Cap 2 is definitely an awesome bag for working out of. And then transporting all your stuff, opening up, working out of. And so those are great designs. The Cap 1, I found a use case for me that, I like to have a one place for my charging brick and the cables. And then, in mine that I've showed in a couple of videos, I normally have cash for different countries that I might go to. I have Metro cards for every country I go to. What else do I have in there? That's pretty much it. I usually have some sort of portable battery bank that I take with me, usually throw in my bag or my pocket just in case I get somewhere and all of a sudden I've been using my phone to navigate all day exploring a city. I have another way to charge, but that's pretty much what that thing carries. I think that's perfect for that. All right, Jorge says, so I've accumulated too many bags over the last 2 years. They keep releasing better and better bags. Have you sold bags on Facebook? If so, any tips? So yes, I've sold bags on Facebook. And if you're in one of the more friendly groups, then it will be no problem. Like Carryology Classifieds is the one where I spend probably most of my time. And I've sold bags in there for sure. Everything GoRuck, is another one that is really good. And those two are where I would typically list things. GoRuck stuff would be in that GoRuck one. Everything else I list in there. But since I got so many bags and with my website, I have a store. The store makes everything a lot easier for me just because I have, enough traffic to do that. And so I list all my bags there. Now I've got a lot of stuff that's kind of stuck in there that people just maybe haven't seen. And so I will go to the Facebook groups just to kind of bring awareness. But the problem with the Facebook groups, and I play by the rules, is there's, they don't want you to do self-promotion, so I can't put a link to my store in there, and I couldn't put a screenshot of the store in there. But again, that's fine. That's, you got to play by the rules. They created the rules, so I honor those. And so I usually direct people to my website if they want to buy bags, but maybe after the holiday, after January, I'll probably make another post and say, but if you do that, definitely have all your ducks in a row in terms of how you want paid. Definitely put your zip code in there. Just look in the description of whatever Facebook group you join, because they all have different rules of things they need to see for you to do it, and they'll ask you to correct that if you don't put it in there. So normally PayPal and Venmo are the two popular ways to pay for bags, which work great. I don't have a preference either way. One thing to be aware of is some of them take fees. So PayPal will take fees out if it's labeled as goods and services. A lot of people ask for friends and family. That's cool. But if you use goods and services, your purchase is protected, but it adds a couple percentage. So I got to the point now where I just didn't even say anything about it because it's a couple bucks. Just put it in there. And then shipping, be prepared to figure out how to ship it. So if you kept the original boxes, which is what I do, then you should have no problem finding a box. Otherwise, you'll have to find one that fits whatever you're trying to send. And then most people, I discovered pirateship.com, one of the best named websites I've ever come across. But pirateship.com is where you'll go. You'll get a pretty good rate in there. Create an account, and you can print the label out on your computer and then tape it to the box and then just drop it off. Pretty quick and painless. So those are my recommendations for selling. Join a good Facebook group and go that route. Otherwise, you could sell it on your own Facebook page or something like that, and maybe friends in the neighborhood that are getting into rucking or something. I've done that before, but usually Facebook groups are the best way to do it. Why Dyneema is not popular as predicted? Why is it not popular? I think it is pretty popular. I'm not to the point where GoRuck sends me their sales numbers. It's still available, but I also don't know how many they bought in terms of GR2s and GR1s. I think if I had to predict, they saw the popularity of the GRXE1, and they also they had some Dyneema bullets that were out for a while. Those got snapped up pretty quick. So they probably made the leap that everyone would buy a Dyneema backpack in all sizes. Now, I don't think that material itself lends itself to maybe the bigger bags as it does the smaller bags, but I don't know. I also don't have one of the bigger bags in the Dyneema. I do think Dyneema is a really cool material because of its abrasion resistance. I didn't drag mine, and I'm waiting a little bit longer for maybe a couple of returns. If GoRuck gets a couple of unserviceable returns through scars, I might be able to get my hands on a Dyneema bag. It might happen in a Samurai, but the Samurai, they have so much Samurai material there that they'll probably repair those versus just kind of making them unserviceable. So I don't know. But next time I'm down at headquarters, which hopefully will be soon, I'm going to ask those questions because I really would love to drag the Dyneema like I did the other bags, along with the Dyneema bag and a Samurai would be two awesome ones to drag. You also have to pay taxes on goods and services over 600 sold on PayPal. Yes, so taxes, that's kind of another reason why I kind of just went with my website, because the website takes out taxes and takes care of all that for me. So it is annoying. I mean, I'm like everybody that, I love to find a website that doesn't have a tax added and it's free shipping. So what you see, if the bag's $300, you pay $300, it's even. But the way of the world now, it's so easy to track that everybody's now taking out taxes and shipping. Yeah, sure, sometimes it's free, but it does cost money to ship things. They're just eating that into their profit, or they price them accordingly to pay for that shipping, because everybody's paying for shipping. But yeah, so I don't. You just got to watch how you're selling things and be aware. Pirate ship is the best for sure. Yeah, I mean. So my shop is through Big Cartel. Big Cartel, the reason I went with it is because it directly integrates with Pirate Ship. So I go to pirateship.com, click on the orders, and if it's in, like, for instance, the patches, which if you want a JB Outside patch, you can get a JB Outside patch by going to the shop. Now, I have it set up now that, say, for instance, 10 people ordered patches. I hit a button and it just produces all the labels, and I got a little printer. It spits them out, and it's just fantastic. So The fact that Pirate Ship integrates with my shop is just awesome. If anyone has a better way, I'd like to know, but this what I have works pretty well. Any word on the GoRuck M23? So I can tell you that the M23 is not just color updates. It is drastically different, and it's still, you know, the same general design, flip top with some access side all around. So I'm looking forward to seeing the final version, because the pre-production one, I was like, well, that's weird. Well, that's weird. And they're like, well, this is a pre-production one. So we'll see when I actually get it, what it looks like. And so I really can't say anything more about it than that. I can just tell you that I did see it, and it was not, I was not blown away with the one I saw, just because it was, they had changed some things that I'm like, well, I wouldn't have changed that. But anyway, I'm gonna wait till I get the final version in here, put it through its paces, ruck with it, load it up with my standard loadout, and we'll see how it works. Because there, you know, somebody had a reason to make all those changes, so we'll see the final product, give them a fair shake, and go from there. Because I mean, if I had the opportunity to take the M22 and make some tweaks, there would have been not a lot of tweaks. Maybe some wider zipper openings on the side, and then some internal organization on the inside. And one thing I said in my review, or I said it somewhere, was if they would have taken the back panel on a GR1 and just put it on the M22, I think that would have been a win, because you had a stretchy pocket on the inside and you had webbing on the top, so you can put stuff, whether you're just going to jam a pen or pocket knife in there, or if you're going to put, for me, I would have immediately put the field pocket up there. So those are kind of just some things that like I said, hey, if you would have just done that, it was a pretty good design. And then to have a different design on the buckles. I know there's a few people that like the G-hooks in the front of the production models, but I mean, I think everyone I've seen, a lot of them had swapped out those buckles for even, you know, click type plastic buckles. Or for me, I've got the one back here. This one's got fid locks, which I installed. And honestly, on the other one, Scars fixed it up for me. They re-sewed my straps, but the camo one, the waxed camo, also has fid locks. And then my work one has the Cobra buckles. They all have their pluses and minuses, but they just needed an option with a better buckle than the G-hooks, which I think were, so they're cool in some places. Like, I really do like them here on the front. I mean, I know a lot of people are talking about Cobra buckles and stuff in here, but for me, this thing is either on or off. And these are easy enough to rip off if you need to, but for me on that M22, this was kind of not the way I would have gone. GR1 Dyneema versus X-Pac, pros and cons. Well, unfortunately for me, when I drug the X-Pac down the road, the blue GR1, and then I took a look at that sucker, it kind of ruined at least VX21 for me as a primer material. So that's why I'm kind of concerned about the black one. That VX20, I just have images of that thing being drugged down the road and seeing what it looked like afterwards. So for me, VX21 is not a primary material. I think it's a good secondary thing. I'm definitely a bigger fan of the X42, VX42 or thicker. But in my research for the video, this orange, I know I put this somewhere, the abrasion number for this RVX25 is like 2,000. And actually, yeah, it's 2,000. And X42 is 1,700. So this one's more abrasion resistant than the X42. So you just gotta think about how you're gonna use the bag. I really, again, back to my earlier comment, I really would love to drag the Dyneema down the road, but all I have is the GRXC1, and I just couldn't find myself to do that, to drag that down the road. I think Taylor Weldon would ban me from all the web pages if I did that, so I'm just going to leave it like it is. All right, what else? You guys got big plans for the holiday? I'm going to be working. I'm going to be flying around the country. So, but I'll be in and out that weekend. Definitely going to be rocking the old Unicorn 2.0 this weekend out around town. I'll probably make a social media post with cities you might find me in, but I'm not going to give you my exact schedule. That would be creepy. What I need to find out is I need to find some more Atlanta-based bag nerds. I can say that, bag nerds, that would want to help coordinate a meetup in Atlanta. I think it would be cool to get some of the Carryology brass in town, make a cool patch on an Atlanta theme. People might come in for that, travel around from the south, and you know, meet up. That'd be cool. Bring all your orange stuff into one place. That'd be neat. All right, did you ever do that custom bag that was like the M22? Well, so I was working with just having a moment here. Who was that with? AZO Equipment. So I was working with AZO Equipment on a custom design. I have a whole bunch of notes, had a couple emails. I really wanted to get their production model just so I could kind of game out what their production model is, and then some of my changes. But it just became I just kind of shelved it for the moment, just because there's so many other great bags coming out here that I didn't see it coming together. And so honestly, I just kind of lost interest. Not saying I won't circle back to that, but the way this train is moving, you know, like I said, I've got a bunch of other videos. Like for instance, if you go to my page and you want to know what one of my most popular videos is, aside from the Apple Watch, some other ones which were kind of weird things that just kind of took off, but the Rucking 101 is the one that gets a ton of views. Like even to this week, it is definitely in the top 3 I would offer in terms of the one video that's getting the most views. As we get to the end of the year and people start coming to the resolution part of the year, it kind of skyrockets because everyone's like, what am I going to do? I don't want to go to the gym. What about rucking? And then they look and they find it and they Rucking 101. So I have a Rucking 101 redo or part 2. I already had a 102 version, but either way, I'm going to update that answering questions. So that's one that's on the shelf. So I just have all these things that are in the queue. And so doing something long term, again, I might do it. The AZO stuff I've seen is just fantastic. And I actually have one over here, the Rabble, that is pretty cool. I picked this up from, I think, Sean. It's a nice design. And I was going to do a review of this one. I might reintroduce this one to the wild, find out if somebody wants the Rabble. The Rabble is a pretty cool design, but the problem with me doing a review was when I contacted AZO and I told them I had it, they weren't all that excited about me doing a review. At least that's the sentiment I got, just because that is an early design and they're kind of continuing to mature that design. So me doing a review of a sort of a mid-production model maybe just wasn't something they were interested in. So I kind of just put it on the shelf just to see what happens. And anyway, I might release it. If somebody's interested in Rabble, let me know. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's nice. So I haven't done the custom bag from AZO yet. Maybe in the future. Any word for Insidious Junior? Nope, I don't have any word on that. I did an Insidious review before, if I remember correctly. That was the one where I ordered it and Amazon sent me something else. And so I did a review of that bag, which was really kind of funky. But I ended up returning all that. And the Insidious wasn't all that interesting to me. It just didn't, there's some times where some bags they look really cool. And you get them and it just doesn't feel right. It just didn't for me. And again, these are personal decisions. And that for me, that was personal. But what I do have in the sling department, I got all these chrome I got all these different sizes of these cadets because, again, this thing popped up in my feed. This just cool red. And I just wanted it. And it's cool. Now, it's lightweight. It's cool. I mean, I know I've seen some reviews on this cadet. I got the bigger one, the mini cadet. I've got two different black ones. Those are in the Q2. I like that thing, mostly because that color is, bam, pops. Actually, was in, sometimes I remember exactly where it was when I saw one. I was in Puerto Rico. I was walking around the old town there in Puerto Rico, and I saw San Juan, and I saw that buckle, that belt buckle, not belt buckle, the like the seat belt buckle on a bag, and I'm like, what is that thing, man? That looks super cool. It's been a while, but now I have one of those, and they are very, very cool, and I need to get one out. In fact, I'll probably take one on a trip soon. That's what I'll probably do. Jeff asks about the GR3 35 liter. I am all ready to go. I'm all ready to go. It was supposed to be here Monday, and it didn't show up. It was supposed to be here today, and it didn't show up. It's supposed to be here tomorrow, so we'll hope it gets here. I ordered it like everybody else. GoRuck didn't send that one to me for a couple different reasons. But anyway, so I bought that one because it's so unique. It fits the niche in between the GR1s and then the GR3, which is 45 liters. And we had, if you wanted anything in between that, you had to go GR2 to compartment, which, truth be told, these are all little details I'm putting in the GR3 video. I bought and sold at least 2 GR2s in the past. Members of the Carryology group, like I had a coyote one, I've had a black one before, but just packing them out, just until you get your brain wrapped around it, it didn't work. That's why I got the original GR3. Now mine is, for a while there, GoRuck was letting you kind of customize, or they had different options for the GR3, and so mine is slick on the sides. The ones now have webbing here and 4 rows on the front. But other than that, mine is similar because I'll have to look at the details. I'm not sure the new ones have the 35 liter does have a 210 back. This one's got the 1000D everywhere. The 45 liters I've listed on the website also have the hydration. The 35 liter actually has the top pocket, the quick access pocket. So anyway, we're going to go through all the details on the GR3 35 liter because it might be the sweet spot. You know, for me, when I talk about volumes and travel, 35-ish liters is like my sweet. I can go for a week. I can go for a whole week and single bag it in a mid-30s size bag. No problem. It does require some tactical decisions, and you're probably not bringing a bunch of different shoes, but you can definitely do it. And I don't get a lot of utility out of that last 5 liters to go to a 40-liter GR2, personally. So for me, I'm either doing the 34-liter GR2, or I'm stepping all the way up to the 45-liter GR3, and I've only used that sucker maybe a couple times, because normally I can get everything into just 34 to 35 liters. So we're going to get the GR3, we're going to get the big boy out, the 45-liter. We have my GR2 34-liter, which is a special edition. It's a shooter edition, but it still will work for this demonstration. I got a CTB 35, and then I'm also going to dig out the packed travel backpack. So I did a initial impressions on the packed travel backpack, which is cool, but I just cannot get my brain wrapped around the way that the thing opens up. And I did a couple trips with it, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work. So I may pull that one out. To see if I can pack everything in, but more than likely that may not make the cut. That packed travel backpack, which I feel it was really good. Really unique design for sure. I do like what they did to it, and it really, of all the things that makes it awesome, the fact that you put your laptop in the dead center middle of the bag and pack everything around it. I mean, there is no better place to store a laptop on a trip than the inside of a packed travel backpack. You can't tell me any different. Now, I know that the back panels on all these bags are great. But if you, even on all these GoRuck bags, they say bomb proof, but if you drop this sucker on a rock and it takes a direct impact, I don't know. But you put it in the middle of the bag, you got all your dirty laundry and socks and underwear protecting that thing. It's a good design. But I used it, it just didn't work. But the Pack Java backpack, that's just me. Mystery Ranch Huckberry collab during the sale. Thanks for the heads up. Yes, that the Greenbelt bag, man. It is a ridiculously good price. So stop what you're doing. Go to the Huckberry website. Type in Greenbelt. It is awesome. I'll get it. Nope. Not going to take that call right now. This Greenbelt, man, is awesome. And the one question I've seen pop up more in the last week than I can ever remember is how waterproof is it? Now, it is a lighter gauge material, but it's coated, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But the fact that it's coated and it has AquaGuard zippers, this thing is going to take a lot of water before it starts getting things wet on the inside. Just a very cool design. You know, the only thing that I wish they would have done, I wish they would have put the Futura harness in there. Because this is a not adjustable. It does have the load lifters. It's cool. That's the only thing, man. I would have said, Huckberry, don't do that. But they never asked me. They didn't on this one. Maybe they will in the next one. I don't know. But anyway, that Greenbelt is cool. And for the price, yeah, I'm surprised they still had them. I think they were sold out for a while. But definitely go to Huckberry right now. Get in and look up the Greenbelt. It's definitely a steal right now for that quality of a bag with those kind of features. Very, very cool. Alternatives to field pocket mounted inside GR1. Something flatter, smaller. Well, yes. So I don't have any right off the top of my head on different options for that. I do think whatever you get, you need to consider how you're going to attach it. And that's sometimes the problem. I know that Prometheus Design Works did some collaboration stuff with, honestly, there's just a ton of pouches. I'm trying to see if I have one over here. I think most of my stuff is honestly packed inside that GR2. But some of the Triple Out Design GPP1 pouches are very good. The issue is a lot of times like the webbing on this goes this way and the webbing goes this way and that way. So you end up with a mounting problem. Slick clips. Again, I never know where we're going to go, so I don't have everything here, but I have probably 1,000 of these slick clips. These suckers here, I don't know if that'll show up, but the slick clips will allow you to sort of put them at a diagonal. So if the webbing is kind of perpendicular, you can kind of bridge them with putting this in the middle. These slick clips, send me an email, send you a dozen of them because I have all the Triple Out Design stuff comes with 4, and I take them off because I usually just use those as dump pouches in all these other areas. So I must have 1,000 of those things, or at least 100 of them. I probably have more slick clips than I have backpacks. I'll go that far, for sure. But I don't have any ideas right there. Did you get the $270 pricing on the 35 liter? I'll have to go back and look to see what my price was. I do get the military, the ID Me version of that as a retired military, but I don't remember. I did see somebody post saying they got and that's what's kind of annoying is it used to be 25% at GoRuck for a military discount. And now it's 15, and now somebody said they got it for 20. Maybe it was you. I don't know, but there was. Just make it the same every time. Why they? It's like move that bar. It's annoying. But so I don't know what I got. I got the military price. It was a little cheaper, but I honestly can't remember. Duffel bags, Evergoods or GoRuck kit bag. Used for gym and travel. This is $1 million question too that comes up quite a bit. And to be honest, you really have to handle both of them, I think, because they just have different feels. So the Evergoods one is a bigger bag, and it just has a lot more going on to it. and it just feels that way. The kit bag feels simple. Sewed up bag, couple little pockets, kind of throw in your trunk of your car, anywhere it goes, anywhere it does everything. But you know, the opening of those style bags is the hassle with the GoRuck kit bags, but where the Evergoods opens up much wider. So it really comes down to personal preference, unfortunately, on those. Now, if you're going to go kit bag, I recommend, again, and I'm just, you know, this was in my my video that I just shot today, but the Not Heritage Waxed Canvas Kit Bag 2.0 is, to me, one of the best deals on the GoRuck website, because yeah, it's made in Vietnam, so it's not the Made in USA Heritage ones, but the two that I have, one they sent me and I did in the video, and then a second one I bought the black one because the black will go with everything. And in fact, that's why you see in my shop I'm selling a couple of kit bags, because I have the ones I need. I got the olive one and I got the black in their wax canvas. They'll go anywhere and do anything, and they look awesome. So a lot of my 1000D ones are being released just because I have what I need in that field pocket or the kit bag department. So really it comes down to feel. The fact that the 2.0 versions of the regular and the Not Heritage Wax Canvas kit bag has a pocket in the front that you can put quick and easy tech, more like an iPad, regular size iPad or the mini iPad or a Kindle. Don't really recommend putting a laptop in it, but for me, when I travel, I usually have some sort of backpack where I would have my laptop in there. The kit bag is all the overflow. It's the socks and underwear and other things that I put in the overhead and never touch it, mostly. So, because all my good stuff's in the backpack. For gym, I think either one would work. It depends on how particular you are with shoes. And for those, I recommend either just some sort of shoe bag. GoRuck just came out with some of the same material shoe bags, which I think are awesome. I don't have any of those. Or the gym bag that GoRuck just came out and did a video review of that, because that has a shoe compartment. I would not get the larger 45-liter one. I would get the smaller one, because I think that's really what you're going to use the gym, unless you just, you know, you got to bring all your stuff, weight belts and multiple things, I mean, whatever it is. But the smaller gym bag at GoRuck is definitely worth thinking about if you're going to use it for the gym. And it can be used for travel too. So go check that one out. Cool. All right, well, we're gone about an hour. Purdue is playing Tennessee right now in Maui, so I'm going to try to catch up with that game. Any final questions? And I know I'm 20 to 30 seconds here, so I'll pause for a little bit to see if anybody has a further question. But I do appreciate everyone dialing in. If you want to see more of these, leave me a comment here on this. You know, maybe I'll do one maybe right before Christmas, kind of catch up, see how everybody's Christmas is doing. If you have got any questions on the M23, which I expect to be out by then, there is a looming Carryology GoRuck sort of release happening sometime in December that at least Taylor has commented on their calendar, and I'll be completely honest, I don't know exactly what we're talking about, but I do know that there's one other big event in the GoRuck and Carryology world that's coming out, so I'm excited to see what that looks like, and I'll definitely be doing a review of that. That's probably, actually I know that's going to fall into I'm going to dive in there with everybody else and pick it up, and I'll review it. So that'll be me this month. I'm trying to dial back, man, because I know a bunch of stuff was going to jump in there, like that thing coming in December, and then this GR3 I knew was coming out, the M23, so I kind of dialed back on my other special projects. But anyway, whatever you guys like to see, I try to deliver. Leave me a comment on Instagram or in one of my videos. I read every one of those comments. For me, it's more about the conversation than it is about me making a video. It is fun making the videos, and I do have a passion for this because I am spending a lot of money and time on it. It's kind of like, it's definitely a good hobby. So thanks for taking your time on a holiday week. Now, put all your tech away and go spend time with family the rest of the week. I hope it's a good week for you, wherever you are, weather-wise. Travel is going to be busy. If you see me in the airport, I always have JB Outside patches with me. So say hi. Just JB, and love to chat. So thanks for watching. With that, Let me get to my closeout screen here because to make it official. Thanks for watching. Get outside. We will see you out there.